Lately, I've been starting to get more into the Bond films. So today I'm going to rank the Connery and Lazenby Bond movies from the worst to the best. So here's my list. Hi, my name is Nathan. I talk about a bunch of movies on this channel. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button. Be sure to subscribe. I got more content like this over on my channel. You can check those out when this video is over. Also, these are movies that came out a long time ago, so if you're my age, you probably haven't seen them. But I watched through them at a random point in time this summer. And so, with that said, let's get started with the ranking. In last place, Diamonds Are Forever. A very bland Bond film. After taking a one-movie break, Connery decided to return, and it just is very bland. The setup is great with him getting revenge after on Majesty's Secret Service, but it's all before the opening credits. Then he just moves on with his life without any emotional repercussions or anything like that. There's weird things in the movie where he fights two people named like Bambi and Thumper. It's just so weird in the way that plays out. It's fun to see Connery again in the role, but it just does not work right now, and it just simply feels very weird in the canon Bond films. Number 6, Thunderball. For me, this was a pretty significant step back from Goldfinger because it's very unexciting. There's not nearly enough urgency and tension. The action underwater may be memorable, but it was never exciting to me. It didn't really connect with me all that much. The plot is really forgettable while it has the same structure as Goldfinger. And like I said, there's not, about the spawn stuff, there's not much urgency and tension throughout the runtime of the film. And so while this is a classic Bond film, it doesn't really connect with me all that much. Next up is You Only Live Twice. The Bond film takes us to Japan, and that just makes for a fun new experiment. And it's a fun new setting in the world of Bond. There's a nice introduction of Blofeld, who obviously parodies Dr. Evil in the Austin Powers movies. But then, it's maybe cheap entertainment because you have a secret evil lair and stuff like that. There's silliness in a Bond film, but that's what I kind of like about it. It's my type of stuff that I like. Even has a nice score as it's set in Japan, and it's totally consistent with itself. Holding it back, it doesn't really feel like a Bond film because of the new setting, but I do think that it works very well. Fourth place, Dr. No. This is a film that makes its mark on the franchise very well. There's iconic casting with Sean Connery in the lead, obviously. It has all the Bond tropes with opening credits and catchphrases, the one-liners from Bond, and it laid the foundation for the 60 years that the franchise would become. Now, obviously, it does feel very ancient as it is the first film of all the James Bond movies, but it did the right things right, and that's what I appreciated about this film, was that it laid the foundation for the longest-running film franchise of all time. Third, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. This one feels different from all of the other films on this list than any other Bond film because it has one Bond in George Lazenby, and it's a film where Bond decides to settle down and get married. But it has better action than the Sean Connery ones. Especially in 1969, I couldn't believe what they could do with the action. And it's very dramatic and exciting at some points in the film. Blofeld, he stands out more than he did in You Only Live Twice. And it's kind of like Casino Royale, something that makes Bond vulnerable, makes Bond change. And so, it feels odd, but that doesn't mean it's a good Bond film. The runner-up is going to be From Russia with Love. The second Bond film is where the franchise started getting into shape a little more, and that just makes for a better film. There's obviously a larger budget, as a lot of movies had in the train, and in more locations. There's nice tension building throughout the film, more than Dr. No had. And there's very iconic sequences like the speedboat chase at the end of the film. And it's just a very solid film. And now, it may be really early. If Dr. No was the rush draft, this is where the franchise went full swing, and I think that's what this film did very well. Coming in first place for me is Goldfinger. This movie is a more cinematic Bond film in nature. There's wider action shots where they're following cars around. There's larger set pieces where the part of the choreography is the reflection of an eye, and then and you see the bad guy right there. It's part of the choreography of this film. There's more humor from James Bond, and there's even a great score in this film. So this is one that I just thought really, really worked. So it's my favorite of the Connery, Lazenby Bond films. That's my list. Down below in the comment section, share your list. Click that like button if you enjoyed this video. I got more content over on my channel. You can check those out right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.